Cotton, please.
Admiral Fowler, I want to speak about the legal conditions on the ground in the Northern Triangle, Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. Do the governments of those three countries systematically persecute their own citizens on the basis of race, ethnicity, sex, political views, religious belief, or other such categories?
Senator, when I go, I'm lockstep with our embassies, and we've got great diplomats, and we don't see a systematic exploitation. I work with the militaries, and the elements we work with are vetted and trusted, and I find they're doing the right thing, whether it's Honduras, Guatemala, or El Salvador.
Thank you. I think that's a very important point. The governments of Honduras and El Salvador and Guatemala do not persecute their own citizens systematically on the basis of race, sex, ethnicity, religion, or political views, which is the basis for asylum and refugee status under our laws. An economic migrant is not eligible for asylum. They are not eligible for refugee status. Asylum is designed for people like, say, a Hong Konger whose student visa expires and doesn't want to return to Hong Kong now that the Chinese Communist Party has cracked down on that country. The reason we have a crisis at our border is because President Biden and his administration opened the border and ended the policies of the Trump administration that made it clear you could not make the very dangerous journey across Mexico. You could not pay smugglers and traffickers thousands of dollars to get to our southern border and then expect to be let in. If you let them in, more will come. That's why we have a crisis at the border. General Van Herk, we've been supporting the Department of Homeland Security at the border for some time now with DOD personnel. The most recent major adjustment in numbers was in 2018, is that right?
That's correct. In 2018 and this year, we're up to nearly 4,000 total numbers.
And has the status of the border changed from 2018 to March of 2021?
When you say status of the border, can you clarify?
The conditions there. And whether or not we're closer to having a secure border or we have a less secure border now than we did when this major personnel change first started.
I would defer to Homeland Security for the security of the border. We're in direct support of Homeland Security for that mission. I can tell you the numbers of migrants coming across has dramatically increased here in recent months.
And what kind of strain does that put on our personnel at the border?
Our personnel being DOD?
DOD personnel.
DOD continues to provide support to Homeland Security and Customs and Border Protection, mainly in the detection and monitoring. Total number of 4,000 does not place an incredible strain on the force and has not shown significant strategic readiness of our ability to accomplish our missions.
I've seen some media reports that suggest, in addition to economic migrants who are not eligible for asylum showing up at our border from Latin America, that we are now beginning to see foreign nationals from other countries in Africa and Asia. To your knowledge, is that correct?
Senator, I'm aware of intelligence reports that corroborate exactly what you just said.
What kind of threat does it pose to our country that persons might be traveling from the old world to the new world to join these migrant flows?
I believe that we must continue to monitor anybody who has nefarious desires for our country. Homeland defense, border security is national security, which equals homeland defense. There will be people take advantage of the opportunity to come across that border.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, General Van Herk. I mean, if our border is open, anyone from around the world can get to Mexico and try to cross our border, not just to seek a better life here, but to harm or ultimately try to kill our own people. And I go back to the simple point. If you let them in, more will come. All the controversy you see in the media are misplaced, talking about how fast we're processing migrants through these detention facilities or whether they have enough showers or beds or cots. If you don't let them in the first place, you don't have to worry about the conditions in the detention centers. The Biden administration has to reverse course. There are three simple solutions. First, it should reapply the public health declaration under Title 42 to all foreign nationals, to include minors, just like the Trump administration did, as the Biden administration still does for adults. Second, it should renegotiate a new migrant protection protocol with Mexico, which it tore up for no reason on its first days in office. And third, it should re-enter a safe third country agreement with Guatemala. If you're seeking asylum at our border, there's no reason you cannot seek asylum in Guatemala. That was the lesson of the last administration. Those three things alone will solve our crisis at the border, and they can all be done tomorrow.
Thank you, Senator